Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV with my co-host Jeremy Scipio
What's going on, people?
and a very special guest
Uh-oh.
out here in LA. Uh, we gonna get into where she's from and how that all works out or whatever, but a very special guest, DJ Sundance. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Nice, nice, nice. So, what city are you from?
Chicago. So I was born in Chicago, but I was raised in Inglewood, California until 1989. And my mother sent me back to Chicago. So from 89 up until a week ago, 35 years in Chicago. Yeah. So it's like
So,
half and half.
what
Half
part
and
of
half.
Chicago? Can't leave that
West
out.
side.
West side. Okay.
West side of Chicago.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I thought you were gonna say South side. Everybody
Absolutely not.
be.
Absolutely not.
My boy friend of the show, Ronnie Ray. He's from and still currently lives in South Side.
Yeah.
So, uh,
It's a big rival thing, but it's all love once you come up out of there.
who's notable from West Side Chicago?
Myself, the brat,
Great
uh,
answer.
cru- crucial conflict,
Okay.
Twister, do or
Yeah.
die.
Okay.
Um, who else? Anybody else? Anybody greater than us? Curtis Mayfield. It's
Oh,
it's a
what?
lot. Yes,
Okay.
it's a lot of legends from the West Side.
Yeah. When was the first time you heard hip hop, and what was the song?
I think it had to be maybe Rapper's Delight. Maybe Rapper's Delight. Some early KRS-One. By far, he's still my favorite rapper of all time. KRS-One.
Dude.
Hmm.
What's your favorite medium to consume music?
Well, I'm deep into house music, Afro house, and piano. Track Source is my number one go to. Um, yeah, that's where I'm comfortable at. But being a DJ for so long, you have friends that's been DJing as long, and you just swap folders. But
Nice.
every now and then, you might get that one banger that somebody is sitting on.
You know what? I during COVID, I had a Zoom. No, it wasn't a Zoom. I did a WhatsApp with somebody that had went to Ethiopia during COVID.
Really?
Yeah, for whatever reason, he was in Ethiopia.
Uh
And
huh.
while he was out there and COVID was going on, they weren't shut down kind of like the way that we were.
Uh
Or they were unshut down sooner than we were. But I remember
Okay.
him telling me, he said, I'm a piano. He said that's gonna be the next thing, and he's like he's from he does things out in LA. You know him, and I'll bring that up anyway. But he does clubs and stuff out in LA. But he said,
Okay.
man, you gotta get on this now, man. If you got any music that you got going on, you've remixed, and this was like 2022, maybe like
Uh huh.
2022. And he
Uh huh.
said, this music, if you thought Afro beats was something, he said, this music is gonna take everything over. And I just couldn't connect it. I
You
didn't.
You
here's
don't
the
know the name of
crazy
it?
part. I would say around 2021, 20-ish, at the height of the pandemic. We was burning the airlines up because nobody was flying. And Eric and myself, we were in this long distance relationship. And I had told him, I said, hey, listen, Afro house, Afro beats, and piano, watch these radio stations. They're going to start playing this. And
Mm-hmm.
half of the stuff is not going to be popular, but the beat is going to be basically the same, but it has a vibe to it. It has a serious vibe to it. Every year, every other month, we come back and he'll turn on KJLH and he'll say, babe, I'm starting to hear more and more. I say, yeah. But I knew this in 2008.
Wow.
I saw this surge of Afro house because Chicago, we beat up house music. Like, we've been playing classic tracks for the past 40 years. Chicago just celebrated 40 years of house music. Where else can we go but the future? And I just saw this wave. I started playing it. And at the time, I was DJing for the radio station. And my program director was like, hey, listen, I don't think we need to be playing this because it's not in English. And we don't know what the hell they saying. We could be offending some people. We could be offending a group of people. We can't play this. Or how about this, Sundance? Play it, but just play the instrumental. Then I will play the instrumental, put an acapella on it. We start doing edits, and it's just from there, everybody in Chicago just took off.
So the artist that I feel, as far as mainstream is concerned, most popular that kind of rode that for a minute was Tim's.
Yeah.
And I feel like, but this was my little thing. You know what? We're not gonna do that tonight. We're not
do it, because I want to know what you gotta say.
You already started it now.
Yeah, I was told my stories, man. I'm from Mississippi. We make barbecue and we tell great stories, man. That's just what we do. But with Tim's, her everyone just, she's dope. Like, don't get me wrong, she's dope. SZA is dope. All these girls are dope. But I just feel like when people start taking it too far, when there's a vocal chain involved in it, I just feel like it's almost like, and vocal chain meaning like how they stack their vocals and the auto tunes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I just kind of feel like, give it its props as being some good music, but let's not take it too far. let's not take it too far, man. It's not T-Pain singing without his vocal chain. Like, T-Pain singing without his vocal chain, he's one of the most incredible R&B singers of our time. You know what I'm saying? If you've heard him sing without his vocal chain. So when people go into the Tims and the SZAs, I'm like, man, give them their props, but just like, man, please don't start comparing them to, you know,
Whitney Houston.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So that's my little thing.
I think everybody has a place in time, in their time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw T-Pain do the Tiny Desk concert.
Tiny Desk, yeah.
And blown away.
Man.
To me, I never understood why he even chose to go auto-tune when he could sing. But I understand, he pulled it out the bag. It was something different since Roger Troutman. So I dig it.
Yeah. His songs wouldn't have hit the same if he would have just sung them. I mean, he got them songs that's like, it's made to speak to a drunk. It's made to drink to a drunk person's soul. Like, it's speaking directly to the. It's like, I am drunk and there's music in the background and it's giving me bad advice.
You talking from experience, Jeremy?
Oh no, I wasn't even on the type of time, and he was, even though he's a lot younger than he looks. But no, I wasn't on that. I wasn't in the club when T-Pain was in the club.
I was in the club.
When he was in love with strippers and fell in love with the bartender and all that, I was in school.
Wow. Yeah, I was in the club able to enjoy every bit of it. You know what I'm saying?
But Greg, let me ask you a question. How long you think Tim's got?
You know what? I think that she has some time, but she had her high point at that. I think she got as much. Honestly, I think she's as talented as SZA, because it's both the same. It's two different continents, but it's both the same thing. It's the very dope vocals, but the vocals are, it's a vocal chain type of thing.
She's more hands-on with a lot of her production.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of women don't get credit for, except for Missy Elliott. Like Missy got all of her credit. And I think it was because the force of Timberland was behind her.
Yeah,
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean? But Tim's is a producer, and a lot of people didn't even know that.
I had no idea.
She is hands-on production. She does produce in Logic. She mess around with Pro Tools. She's hands-on.
What do you think of Tyler? Is she in that category or not?
Say that again.
What do y'all think of Tyler? I said, is she in that category or not?
Tyler, the Creator.
No, Tyler. Is that her name? Tyler, right? Yeah.
Tyler?
She made the song Water and stuff. She's popping right now. She probably bigger than all of them right now.
That's the only song that I know of her.
Yeah, she's
Water.
She's big deal, but I think it's just right now. We gotta see if she has lasting power, but I would say technically she's bigger than all of them right now.
Okay.
She's really young too. I don't know.
She's a producer.
I just say singer songwriter. I don't want to give her too much credit. I just know that Water song's big. She make all her songs are the ones to be popping on like TikTok and stuff. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I just know
is that the girl? Oh, I know you're talking about. She's
she's the biggest thing she's known for is dissing Kai Cenat. Is that what you gonna say?
No.
Okay.
She's kind of got like a shaved head, and she kind of like sings in a cadence.
She sings in a cadence. Her head is not shaved though.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what
she's a really tiny girl. That's the best way I can describe her. Okay. She's South, but she's South African. She made news a couple of times because people she said she wasn't black or something like that, and was like what? But she's where in South Africa they call it colored. Colored is different from black, which means you're mixed. Okay. Yeah, so
that song was huge though. I mean, huge.
Yeah.
Water, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, she might just be of the moment. I don't want to give her too much credit over Tim's, because Tim's is popping for sure. SZA, she cemented, you know what I mean? But I just say in that comparison, I just want to know where you feel like Tyler falls in that.
But it's crazy how you took that comparison from Afro House to Essence and Tim's when they weren't even in my category. I was talking about Black Coffee, Black Motion, all of the Asalunde, all of those guys. I'm talking about.
She got into deep house real fast.
That's not deep house, but it may be deep house to you. But that's not deep house.
Well, let me spin my record back. When you said Osunlade, his DJing. You know what I'm saying? His DJing, not him as the artist, him DJing. That's right. That's what it was. I had the pleasure of meeting him, and I was in France for Midem, this music conference back probably about like 2002, 2003. And I believe he's living in Puerto Rico at the time. And I was at a party where it was him, Raphael Sadiq, and Questlove. This is before Quest was really DJing. You know what I'm saying? And that was a night, man. I was like, and Raphael Sadiq DJ. So it was Questlove, Raphael Sadiq, and Osunlade. And I was like, dang.
Listen, y'all may need to take a trip to Chicago.
I was there. I was there 2 months ago. But really? you got to tell me where to be. Where you gonna be at?
Where you want to go? I'm going next week. I got a DJ. Come go with me.
Okay, not next week, but because I need to find out. Long as I got a duck.
I don't want to have to. You read my mind. You read my mind, Jeremy. I want to go.
Long as you don't have to like duck like that.
Yeah. I want to go with this bright street lights. I don't want to see where people are from. I don't want to see where Kanye's from. I don't want to see where Obama from.
We don't do those type of parties. And the crazy part is house music does not attract that type of crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, house music don't attract. House music is grown. House music is sexy. You know, we got grandkids, we the aunties, we the uncles. We just want to chill out and, vibe. That's all house music is.
A comedian, Corey Holcomb, made that picnic sound so dope. I was like, I
Chosen
gotta do it.
Few?
Huh?
Chosen Few?
Uh
The picnic.
oh, you know what? The Chosen Few DJs, are they who started that?
Wayne Williams. And
Oh,
you know what? I guest starred there this summer, and I'll send you the video. I'll have Eric to send you the video.
we've had Wayne on the show.
Say that again.
We've had Wayne on the show.
Yeah, Wayne Williams. Is Wayne, Andre Hatchett, Tony Hatchett, Terry Hunter,
Terry
Mike
Hunter.
Dunn, and Alan King. I mean, they killed it.
I saw
they started something, and they are killing it right now.
I saw Terry Hunter, Wayne Williams, and Kenny Dope.
Yep.
About a month and a half ago. And the last time I was in a place that was kind of like confined and closed in with everybody sweating and just rocking to the beat, I caught COVID. So I was there for about 40 minutes and I was out. I was out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was out. I stayed, it was longer than that. I was there for probably like an hour and a half. I saw Kenny Dope finish and Terry Hunter start, and I was just kind of like, oh man, this is just too closed in, man. I remember feeling crazy after I was this closed in, you know what I'm saying? Had to bounce, but it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah, the picnic this summer, I think they were almost at a $250,000. Yeah. Huge crowd. Yeah.
So, and I heard that they the gangbangers call truce at those kind of events. It's kind of like
they do,
you know,
because it's not about that. House music is not about that.
So we there next year. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, hey, come on.
We gotta go, Jeremy.
Come on, we go. Be a guest, VIP, set up in the back, get some interviews rolling. Yep.
Heck yeah, I'm down with that. Okay. Meanwhile, what's your favorite hip hop movie?
That's hard. I could say straight out of Compton, but Beat Street.
I knew you were gonna say Beat Street
because I'm 52, so I like to take it back to the roots.
You know what? A lot of people from Chicago say Beat Street. And that's why I said that, because you guys were closer to New York
than we are.
Exactly, than out here. So it was like, we're out here, we kind of resonated with breaking. Although Beat Street was no one would ever call it a musical, but it was a musical.
You know Shabba-Doo?
Yeah.
West Side.
Oh, okay. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. He came out here and made his way.
Didn't he?
Yeah. No, he was a, he was part of the breaking franchise and all that kind of stuff. And he taught dance up until he passed.
Yeah. Breaking Beat Street had to be that one for me.
So while you were out here in Inglewood, in these Inglewood streets, Eric going to be not Inglewood streets. While you was out here living on the West Coast in Inglewood, what was the soundtrack to your middle school experience?
Had to be Paul Revere. Oh my God, I heard that song, Paul Revere. What else did I hear? NWA had just broke.
Yep.
K-Day used to be on AM
with Static.
Yes, and it was the host was Greg Mack, the Mac Attack.
Oh yeah, and then what's his name? Russ Parr, Bobby Jimmy.
Yeah, Russ Parr. World on Wheels still was open, and it was just early NWA. Battle Ram, Tidy T. That was the sound of my 8th and 9th grade.
You know what? There aren't many house DJs that can say they were raised in LA culture of hip hop and then had the best of both worlds and were able to be groomed in Chicago with real house music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the best, that's dope. That's real dope.
It was when I left, I was so young. Music hadn't formed. I was real young, about 6, 7 when I came to California. So I heard hip hop here in LA.
Okay.
And then it just grew from there. But when I left Chicago, it was still in that disco era of finding its way to the first generation of house. So when I got back, I was a part of the second generation of house.
So people want to know, what do you guys think of Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo?
It was commercial.
Yeah, why they gotta say that and mess up the pleasantries being exchanged in the podcast, man.
It was commercial. But when he was pop locking and the broom was standing up, he was battling the broom. That was like, nah. I need. Yeah, when he was battling the broom, I was that was kind of whack.
That's one of the most iconic.
It is, but it was
that
whack.
Is one of the most iconic movie scenes of a hip hop movie, man. That I'll say him and that broom are as iconic as the Beat Street battle in the club. those two situations. But see, Breaking wasn't a musical. It was just like it was dope, but it was more like on the level of like the Fat Boys when they were doing movies a little bit, like kind of comedy. They were comedies. That's
it was too commercialized, but it was still believable. Yeah. But you had Lee in his room with the headphones on trying to find the beat, and Lee in the subway, so you could kind of feel that authenticity of they about to snap, they about to go off.
I wanted to be a DJ because of B Street, man. Yeah, that's what got me. I was like, dang. Yeah, that was.
Hey. I'm watching the dude battle the broom right now. Battling with the broom. Okay. He's sweeping up the Get that spot in the corner. Yep.
I mean, it was cool. It was iconic. I just was like, man, he
battling. That's hard.
Yeah.
You being hard. You killing it.
Yeah, I am.
You gotta understand, Jeremy. She had some time in LA, man, but she went back to them cold Chicago streets, man. And you know what I'm saying? It took a little bit of that sweetness. Not to say she's not, a sweet person, all that. But Chicago, you got that hawk, that wind chill factor too.
Yeah.
This dude is tap dancing in some blazers.
See?
He got the broom standing like he's doing something. Hey, they should have somebody doing that in the street by themselves right now, and everybody looking at him like, "What is going on with him?"
Yeah,
in LA we call that just regular homeless people.
Okay,
Jeremy being mean on him.
It's facts.
So your thoughts on AI?
I love it.
So you being the DJ. Go ahead, Jeremy. No, you go ahead.
I would say, what are your thoughts on AI in music? Like, because I don't know if you know the BBL Drizzy song. You heard that song? Well, during the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, there was this song that emerged. This comedian made the song, but a lot of people don't know. It's called BBL Drizzy. And the song is like really popular. Like it's charted and everything. People say it's like the closing credits to the battle. But basically, the song was made up completely by AI.
Yeah.
Like Nobody made it, whatever. I was wondering, what is your thoughts on like AI taking over, you know, like for real artists?
Well, let me say one thing before I get into my personal comment. Sources say that they are about to create a category for AI created music.
Yeah.
And I welcome that if that is true. But I think that it is true. It's a very resource, because I know plenty of people that sit on the board and they've all said the same thing. Two, I just finished school. I got my degree in sound, audio, and engineering. And when I was making beats, I could never find the consistency of an artist, of a singer. So that's when I started dabbling into, let me find an AI voice to put to this track, because I don't have to deal with the attitudes of singers. And the only thing is, when it's time to perform the song, I don't have a live person. But the complexity of putting a vocal and putting it the way I want it, the way I program it, in the key that I want it to sound, it was so much easier than to get into the booth and the singer got to sing it 85,000 times. It did take away the authenticity of it, but it hit the way I wanted to hit. I welcome it, because I welcome things for the future. I welcome it.
I'm currently featured on the BBL Drizzy guys album. It's called Unserious, and it's doing some numbers right now. I did the skit on there. I say the interesting thing was watching the process though, because I think in order to get into the category they want to get into, they had to get actual singers and recreate the music that was created from AI. Now, what he did was he changed some things, and like he gives prompts. So it's like, say, like he'll say say this here, maybe a high note here, tie it in with this. But overall, they're doing all the pitching and all that stuff, whatever. But watching people recreate it, and now Timbaland has been listening to this guy's album, and he's like, "Yo," he goes, "This guy, he's on to something. He got a movement." Like he was, because right now, oh yeah, it's one song that's hot right now. It goes hot to spit on that thing. Go ahead and spit on that thing. He takes viral. No, no, not a sample. What he does, he takes whatever like trending, he puts it into a prompt. He say, I want an R&B song from the 70s. I wanted to sound like this. I wanted to imitate this artist, and then hits go. And he's killing it. It's like if it's something trending, because this one is like the high pitch, temptation sound. It's like can somebody tell me what a black job is? And it's like,
hey,
it's
man.
scary. It's trending. Like even on Instagram, you know how like you put something up and then you choose like music, like what music you want to put like to your stuff. His songs be up there.
Will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
It's a trendy, so yeah, the future.
So real quick, since I'm talking to a house music, some house music royalty, I was last weekend's years old when I jumped down a rabbit hole and I found out that the Weather Girls were Sylvester's
background.
Singers,
yep.
Which one of them went to sing on the CNC Music Factory.
I got the power.
All of those 80s, all of those 80s, 90s, 80s and 90s, like very popular cuts, some of that Detroit techno, and it's so funny. I was talking to your manager, and we both talked about techno, and I was like,
okay.
Yeah, we could, because before I got into house music, I was thinking like some industrial techno music was like house music. I didn't understand that it was what it was. And then one of my kindergarten buddies, his brother had got into inner city. and he got the record. And when I heard that, it was just kind of like, oh man, this is just, and see, that was back when, man, I'm trying to think if they had a video or not, but that was back when when music was more or less like word of mouth, and there wasn't any, like, if you weren't mainstream, there wasn't that major marketing behind it or whatever. It was truly things organically, no social media, no nothing, just word of mouth. But real quick, I want to talk about your shirt truck, but Birdie told me you have a gold record, or you were part of a gold. So tell us a little bit about that and how that became, and how old you were, and things related.
So when I got sent back to Chicago in '89, before the year was out, I won a rap contest. And one of the judges said, hey, I want to introduce you to this guy named Fast Eddie. And at the time, Eddie was really popping in the city. He was just a known guy. And he was like, he's looking for a girl to rap on a record. And I didn't believe the guy. He ended up being one of my mentors to this day. 45 years, me and this guy still tight. So he introduced me to Fast Eddie, and bottom line, Eddie gives me a tape, go home and practice. It took me a minute to rewrite the song because I was only 16 at the time. Rewrite the song.
Wow.
Came back to the studio, and literally in 3 takes, Get Up. I had recorded Get Up, and I knew something was going on because after I recorded the vocals, it was like everybody kind of was pushing me out of the studio, like, yeah, just sit down over there at Sundance. Hey, did you get that tape? Hell yeah, I got that tape. Rewind it back, let's play it. And they instantly went into mixing the song, releasing the song, and they put the song out. And the song did exceptionally well. The song is probably platinum status now, but the song is over 30 years old. And that was my first gold record at about 16, 17. It was called Get On Up, Fast Eddie featuring Sundance. It was house, but what we call hip house. It was still house music, but we just rapped over it.
I loved hip house, man. That whole movement. I felt that genre was not recognized. I like the is it Alias guy?
Elias. Follow me.
The one guy is still going out and he's doing shows.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Eddie created hip house. Eddie is still performing. Okay. I'm still performing that one song. Elias is still performing. Everybody that had hit records. I was just with CeCe Peniston last week, right before I came to LA.
Stop it.
I had to do her sound check. And these are all the people that had placement at that time. We all kind of hung together, stayed together. My uncle is a part of the Out Here Brothers, Hula Mahone. They had big records, and he also produced Summertime by Will Smith.
Oh wow.
So it's a small knit, and everybody has had their hand in some great production. I'm gonna send you over this documentary that Kevin Lyles just put together with the 300 group. They actually did a film on the birth of hip house and how it got started in our places. Yeah, it was really, really dope.
I'll say this. We didn't have any from LA, like for whatever reason, or none that I knew of, but I can honestly say hip house was the one thing to me that it seemed like Chicago and New York were, I'm not gonna say who was better at it, but if it came from Chicago, you know, we can't say that it went away somewhere else and came back better. But I enjoyed the New York hip house and the Chicago hip house. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Of course, I like ours because we created it. But I still enjoy Doug Lazy. I still enjoy Girl I House You.
Yep.
I still enjoy
Queen
that
Latifah.
sound. Queen Latifah coming to my house.
Yep.
Bass said he did a remix on that. The Jersey sound, but without Eddie, it wouldn't have got created. So they could talk all the shit that they want to talk, but without the West Side, it wouldn't have got created. So
you rep your people pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have that many people. We got the Osley brothers though. Like literally from my hood. I'm from Cincinnati, but literally
a lot of people from Cincinnati.
But specifically Lincoln Heights, my area, like that's my west side. I ain't got no you know what I'm saying? Like
it's okay. You still cool. Yeah. You still cool.
We got the Osleys, we got Nikki Giovanni. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, what's the biggest show you've been a part of? Or biggest event you've been a part of?
I would say the Hippodrome 1989, 75,000, but the Chosen Few cleared that out this summer.
Dang.
Okay. The Chosen Few.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. I was talking to my partner, and I was like, "Man, I was upstairs chilling with Wayne and Kenny Dope, Terry Hunter, and I was like, oh, and Victor Duplay, he was up there, and I just, it was one of those times where I felt like I was at a show in the Bay Area, a hip hop show, and I was backstage with De La Soul, rest in peace, Dave, and I saw Dave, the Jizza from Wu-Tang, and Rakim having a conversation. And I didn't even want to take a picture. I was just kind of like, dang.
That moment.
I felt like it would have been sacrilegious. I was like, man, this moment is just so it meant so much to me that I was like, man, I gotta just have this picture in my mind. And when I was at that situation, I was telling my partner with Terry Hunter, Wayne, Victor Duplay, Kenny Dope, I was like, man, I didn't take a picture. He's like, man, you should have took a picture. He's like, man, it was one of those times, but I do regret that. I don't regret the hip hop part, but on the house part, I still feel the hip hop part that would have been sacrilegious. Like, man, that was a moment that I held in such high regard that film wouldn't have done it any justice. But on to some of the other wonderful things that you do.
Okay.
The t-shirt truck, how'd that come about?
So I had that idea, maybe I could say 11 years, maybe 12 years ago. And when I had it, the person that I was with didn't really believe in the idea. I had just started printing. Mm-hmm. And I just said, hey, wouldn't it be dope if somebody made a truck like a food truck, but they printed t-shirts live from the truck? And they were like, yeah, it would be, but that it costs too much. And because he didn't believe in it, I didn't believe in it. But it kind of stayed back here. And when Eric and I got together at the top of the pandemic, like literally when the pandemic hit, iHeart took everybody off the air because they didn't know how we were going to broadcast radio. So they started sending units out to all the full-time jocks in each state. And if you were part-time, you didn't get a unit, you would have to do it off the phone. So I was doing it off the phone, and Eric said, "What if iHeart doesn't bring you back? What you gonna do?" I said, "No, I don't know. Shit, I never thought about it. But let me tell you about this idea." And I told him, and it took me all night to tell him, and I was saying I was in this bad situation. It was really a divorce. And the last thing that I got out of that house before the police got unruly, I knew that I had kept notes about this truck. And everything that's solid to me, I put it in my handwriting. I gotta see it in my handwriting. And I kept writing how I see this truck, how I wanted this truck. And I lied to the police to get back in the house to get the notebook. So when Eric asked me about what would you do if radio don't bring you back, I started telling him about the idea. And when we got off the phone, he called me back. He said, "Hey, why don't you catch a flight and come out here and tell me about the truck?" Caught the flight, told him about the truck until wee hours of the morning. He listened to it. 2 days later, he sent me back to Chicago. He said, "Go look for a truck." But in my head, I was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna let no other man help me buy shit else. Then when me and you get into it, you gonna take my shit." No. So it wasn't like that. And how I got the truck, um, Eric, he did help me, but I didn't want all of his help. I actually stood on 39th and King Drive and sold Dove soap for 2 years to get the money to not only match what Eric was giving me, but to refurbish the truck, the electrical, the wrap, the tires, the flooring.
Oh, that's dope. He showed me a picture. So he didn't explain the when he said it, he's like, "Oh man, she has a truck, she does DJ, she has a truck, she sells t-shirts, and she can." And but he
DJ
didn't
live
make it
from the
like it
truck.
was one of a kind, but he didn't say. But when he sent me the pictures, I was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
this."
it's definitely one of one. Chicago and LA, anywhere I take this truck is definitely 101. The truck has the capability. I can make t-shirts live on location and DJ from the truck. So when I had these tiny concerts live from the t-shirt truck, I hired a DJ where he could DJ and I'm printing live on location. So that was the ultimate goal, but the t-shirt and the hoodie part became so popular that that's all that I really do, just run t-shirts out the truck.
Can we go back to something? You sold soap on the street?
Oh, you heard that, Jeremy. I sold Dove soap.
We all heard.
Yeah, so I sold Dove soap. I'm a hustler by nature. Dove soap for 2 years to get the money to refurbish the truck.
But wait, how do you sell? Like you buy the soap wholesale and sell it like a dollar upcharge? Like what's or maybe I don't need to know the inside.
More than $1, Jeremy. More than $1.
And how you find out? Is like, do you go where stinky people at, or do you go like, hey?
No, I just use my popularity because being on radio for so long, I'm super popular in Chicago. But I knew I had to sell something and sell it fast to get the money to refurbish the truck. So I knew one of my homegirls was selling it, but she wouldn't sell to me. She was like, "Sundance, you're too popular. Nah, you'll put me out of business." So I hate to be biased, but I had to go to the Mexicans to find out who was selling soap. And once I found out, the lady, she fronted me more than what I had. Her son took down my license plates. They loaded up my truck. She was like, "Bring me my money back in a week." I brought her money back within 4 days, and I just kept recopying. So 3 cases ended up being half a pallet to a skid.
Wait, hold
And
on. You talking drug talk? The feds
I'm
listening.
no.
You talking about yo quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick? Hey,
Right.
like
Yeah.
that's
So
that's beautiful.
and then once I started really getting super popular with the soap, and COVID really kicked in, it just made sense. Then I
Oh,
started, like, my older friends, 60s, 70s. I would deliver to them because it was a little bit too cold for them to come outside and kick it with me and my friends. I knew chicks that owned daycares, nurseries, clinics, whoever needed soap. I was dropping it off.
And on top of your engineering and all that stuff, I'm gonna have to sit down with you and Eric, man. Y'all have to give me some game on how to get it popping, man.
Come on. Come on.
Y'all know how to get it popping.
hey, can
Come
you
on.
front me some soap and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I ain't gonna spend it all in one place. Just tell me what corner to go sell it at. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring your money back. Trust for me.
Okay. Okay.
You know what
All
I'm saying?
right.
I'm be on the corner with a trench coat, like, oh, you want some soap?
We're gonna get them shiny headphones up out you.
Oh, you don't like these? These ain't
Yeah,
official.
those are cool.
You don't
Yeah.
mean that. That's funny.
So
When
got enough money and we got the truck in order. It was a headache, but we finally got the truck in order. Finally got it in order.
when were you officially a DJ in your mind?
When I accepted that $75, my first gig was in 1998, 1998 at the Cubby Bear on the north side of Chicago. 3 hours, $75. I just knew I had made it. Man, I knew, ooh, you couldn't tell me shit. I knew I
Yeah.
had made it. But not knowing the hill that I had to climb. Yeah. Big difference from 25, 26 years ago up until now. Big difference.
Hey, now you flying back to Chicago to do your partner's little situation with 250,000 250,000 people out there, in peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one thing that the house heads, they come in peace. Yeah.
Your dream collab
With
with whoever you like to.
it's not possible.
Alive.
There you go. What am I doing? DJing or production?
Making a song.
Man, give me Cold Hard from Crucial Conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Kendrick and give me Lil' Kim.
All right.
Stick me in the
That's interesting.
studio with Dr. Dre, Scott Storch,
That's what, yeah.
and Q-Tip.
Okay.
Hey, you stacking the deck. It's kind of hard to lose with that one. You know what I'm saying?
I won't. I
Yeah,
won't.
it's kind of.
Real quick, what's did you listen to the Force? LL Cool J's new album? You listen to it at all?
No, as soon as I left, I found out he was in Chicago. I heard that new single with
Which
him
one?
and Eminem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Nasty.
that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I figured.
Nasty. You know, Q-Tip produced that.
That's why I brought it up. I just wanted to see what you think. Yeah,
Yeah.
his production's all over the place. I didn't know he had that type of range. So that's actually pretty good. Q-Tip.
Did you say he was pretty good?
No, I said his. You're funny. I said I didn't realize he had that type of range. It's all over the
Listen,
place. Yeah.
Q-Tip been producing for years.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm a
I'm a
fan.
super fan.
Yeah.
Q-Tip been that one.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
been that one. He been that one. My favorite hip hop producer of all time, J Dilla.
Okay, yeah.
J
You
Dilla.
have Swoosh has a story about that. If you wanna,
Nah.
you can. Wait, you can tell.
I'll be going far with him. I'll be going far with him, man. We gonna pull back on the storytelling, man. On the
Come on, Mississippi.
relating to every relating. I don't have to relate to every topic. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what's the favorite song you've been a part of?
That I've been a part of. My favorites that I've been a part of. Favorites? Probably a song that I just did with Cole Hart.
Okay.
Every effing day. Super dope. I'll send it to you guys. Just to put it together, the layers of it. And his energy, by far, it's only one person that can match Cole Hart's energy, and that's Busta Rhymes.
Wow.
Nobody can match that energy. Nobody.
All right, you putting your city, you putting your city out there like that. We gonna have to listen. You have to let us know.
But it's proven. It ain't like I'm lying to you.
I'm not saying
it's already proven.
I'm just saying in these contemporary times and days of 2024, I want to hear some. I want to hear some of your music.
Okay.
I'm pleasantly waiting. The Chicago music scene versus the Los Angeles music scene, as far as house music is concerned.
Y'all don't have a house thing.
I'm glad you made that statement, because what we do have are some promoters that I'll really give props to, that I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they make it work on the money side of the game, but we have some pretty cool house music that flows through LA, man.
I would love to hear
it. You not believing, or you just saying you haven't seen any?
Well, I said what I said. No.
I'm not gonna say that I don't know it exists, because I know Mike Dunn and Terry and Wayne. I see that they fly out here a lot. So something has to be going on, because they're not flying out here for nothing.
Yeah.
But I need to see it for myself.
Okay. No, I get that. So tomorrow night, I'm going to see the dopest thing that happened during COVID.
Okay.
That I didn't know about until about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Deon Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where at?
Turntables.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's ridiculous, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where at?
He's it is in Hollywood.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I go? Can we go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy. It's on a school night, so I'm literally just going for that, and then I'm gonna bounce. But there's no way I'm not gonna see that. And the funny thing about it, he'll say he's not about that mixing and scratching and all that. He can do some cool blends.
He'll say that.
But his selections, and he played I don't know if it was a Jackson 5 or a Michael Jackson song that I had never heard. And I was just like, oh man, this dude. And he's not good just because he's a comedian and he's DJing. He literally can rock. He was rocking something. And I don't slice the phony baloney easily, man. There's so many things in life where you got to digest the phony baloney. I wasn't going to give him being a cool DJ based on him being a comedian that DJs, but he's dope.
Well, when earlier in Deon's career, Deon was already known as a deep disco head. So if he plays those type of tunes,
that's what he plays a lot of re-edit. He plays originals and re-edits, but he plays. It was so funny. When I was talking to Eric today, I said it's so funny because one of my close buddies' fathers, he was like, I can't get into disco because it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And it's so ironic because within like the last 3 years, I became like really a Sylvester fan. He has that song over and over. And I was listening to the song over and over, and I got what my friend's father meant, because disco, basically with house music, well, disco is like a loop that just keeps on going. It just keeps on going. But house music is kind of what the DJs did back in the day with hip hop, where they would just play the break over and over again.
Yeah.
And with house music, before they got into producing the house music, it was rocking a loop. It was like literally that is what they were doing with the mixer. They were doing the production and just like rocking a loop. But your boy Deon Cole, back to your boy Deon Cole. I got that Mississippi, it creeped out, man. I tried to hold him back.
So a lot of things that Deon will play in his set is because he's a disco head.
Okay.
That was his thing. And then, he saw his first generation of the hip hop and all of that, the earlier stages of that. So he's just really blending the stuff that he came up with.
That's dope. Because he's not, because I was like, when I first started hearing his mixes, I was like, because if you have a person that has notoriety and stuff like that, like I know some other famous DJs, they send people out to get their music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They sent, and on one of his mixes, he had some records, and he's like, yeah, I just went record shopping. So I'm and he's like, don't judge me on the blends and all that kind of stuff.
He's definitely he'll tell you he's a student of the art, but it was not rare to see Deon in the earlier house parties where he would sit with this, sit against the speaker with his little drink and just be vibing off of the music. You could very well catch a Deon at the time at those parties before he made his transition to LA.
Before Jeremy got something he wants to ask you, but before we go to that, I got a good one for you.
Okay.
I remember going to this club. It wasn't a house. You know what? It was Rich Medina and this other DJ. I want to say maybe Aaron Parr. He's another DJ that I know that's out here. But they would do it maybe, I think it's called Jumpin' Funk. But anyway, they do it in Hollywood maybe once every couple of months. And I remember seeing a DJ at this Jumpin' Funk that I really held in a high regard. I mean, I thought this DJ was he wasn't DJing, but I remember seeing him pull out his phone and he was Shazamming music, and it was kind of like I shouldn't have felt the way about it. I'll be in my feelings too much. I'm supposed to be out having fun, you know what I'm saying? Out having a drink, whatever. But I saw this DJ and he was Shazamming the music, and in one way I was kind of like, dang. And he was kind of trying to hide his, I was paying attention to what he was doing.
Uh-huh.
What do you feel about DJs that Shazam other DJ sets?
I do it.
Okay.
Because the average DJ, they're not going to tell you what it is. And in Chicago, it's hard because everybody makes edits.
Uh-huh.
So if it's an edit that I done just cooked up for a week, you can't Shazam it because it's not registered work. So, if a DJ is playing a tune and he running it and he killing the crowd, you like, man, what's that? You try to Shazam it, but if it's an edit, you out of there.
Man, I'm trying to be so pure in this chemically induced world.
Nah, you can't.
And I try to be a pure. There is no.
Yeah,
you gotta crawl your way all the way through this.
Gotta let that go.
I'm trying to adapt myself every day. It's hard. I know in your eyes you view me as a kid, but I'm old, and the kids don't. They be ahead of me. I don't be paying attention to this. I have to ask questions to find out what's going on, so I, be in the loop. Um, and even with DJ Sundance over here, you know what I mean? She making it seem like we don't know nothing about house music at all. So I gotta go to school to learn about that. I gotta go to West Side Chicago just to keep up with the kids there. Hey.
No. We all over the place with Chicago. It's just, it kind of bothers me that it's not worldwide and it's 40 years old.
Do you agree with this statement? House music was pioneered by Alan King, Robert Williams, and I can't remember Derek Carter.
Do I agree with that?
Yes.
Robert, Allen, and who else?
You're like, I don't know damn Robert. No,
no, I know exactly who Robert is.
Robert Williams, Derek Carter.
He was responsible for bringing Frankie Knuckles to Chicago. And they used to have this traditional party at the warehouse, which is where, the birth of house started.
Okay. Where is Frankie Knuckles from originally?
New York.
Dang. Did not know that. Wow.
Yeah.
What was your most iconic moment?
When?
Of your life? Anything you feel like stood out, was significant?
In music?
It don't have to be music. You could have just been a fly on the wall. It's however you view
it. Iconic moment.
I was present for Deon Cole's. The only reason why I know is because he went on I think he was on the Breakfast Club, and he told the whole story. Had some details a little twisted because I was there, but it was the night Dave Chappelle threw a Prince concert. Like Prince had just died that week, and Dave Chappelle threw a concert, and I was there when Deon Cole first walked in. So hearing his account of this beautiful night is just so interesting. But yeah,
it had to be seeing my daughter's reaction when I played Chosen Few this year, because I think I've been a DJ all of her life. She don't know this elevation that I've had. She just know, oh, my mama popular, everybody know her, everybody love her. But to really have her in the crowds hearing and seeing what people were saying, and then people was like, that's your mama, that's your mama. And then on another spectrum, to have Eric fly in and to see me in a different light. Because he sees me as, that's my fiance. Yeah, we grew up together, Inglewood, California, but he's still learning layers of my Chicago life.
He got to see you perform at Dodger Stadium. Your family got to see you
right.
Dodger Stadium.
It's like my daughter's point of view in the midst of the crowd, and then his point of view on stage. To see that, you have to create a barrier when you're DJing. I get into music. I ride it out. I get into, especially house. I love it. And nobody can break that mold when I'm playing. So I really fall into it. It's just so therapeutic.
What would your biopic be called?
Wow. Oh, shit.
That'd be a great title. Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
My biopic. It's so many layers of me. I don't know.
So many layers of me. You just spitting them out.
That's what it'll be, Jeremy.
Yeah, you just sound like you're making it all
layers.
Shit. What would it be? Like so many layers.
Layer. It's so many layers. Yeah. It's the mother, it's the fiance, it's the DJ, it's the screen printer, graphic design, engineer. It's just so many layers. And it's not easy.
Wow, that sounds powerful. Who would play you? Wow, the screen is frozen.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeremy a fool.
That's a great question. I don't
Man,
know.
if we don't go ahead and give Kiki Palmer that role so she can get an Oscar, get out of
Kiki
here.
Palmer. I'm not a
Yeah.
singer.
It don't matter. She's just trying to get the Grammy, get the Oscar for you. You know what I'm saying? This is an actor who's gonna come up who can embody you say these powerful statements. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody else? Who you got?
I don't. I never thought about that. I
All right.
never thought about
We
that.
giving you something you're gonna have to write down in that book, that magical book that brings things to life.
I know one thing. I said if it was a movie on me, I would want that lady. She plays everybody mama. I forgot her name.
Jennifer Lewis?
Yes. I would want her to play my grandmother, and I really would want Mary J. Blige to play my mama.
There it is. We just got it. Okay. So Kiki
But I don't
Palmer,
know who would play me.
Kiki Palmer. We trying to get this Oscar, girl. She like
Oh,
right
Kiki
there.
Palmer.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
if you got
That's
somebody better, I ain't
Chicago.
trying to. You know what I mean? If you got somebody better, I'm just saying. We trying to get an Oscar. That's it. So many
Okay.
ladies in me. Starring Kiki Palmer, Mary J. Blige, and Jennifer Lewis. What? That's come on, man.
Okay. Ship me
Right there.
down to. Do we want Tyler Perry to write it?
You
Or we
read
want?
my mind.
Or we
No,
want
not
Will Packer. We want some. We
Will
want
Packard.
Will
Lee
Packer.
Daniels. Y'all want an Oscar? What are you talking about here? Will Packer ain't got no Oscar. Get the heck out of here. We want Lee Daniels. Get
Okay,
Lee
let's do Lee
Daniels.
Daniels.
Lee Daniels gas down here.
Okay. Well, I'll tell Eric to send me out there. Oh shit, Lee Daniels here, right? In LA?
Yeah.
LA? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though he made a weird one recently. That one with
The horror movie.
yeah, that was weird. That was weird. He kind of becoming Tyler Perry.
I don't like the
Are
movie
you
though.
sure?
The one with the nappy.
I heard it was dope.
And it
She
was based
said,
off of a
"You
true
smell."
story in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, it's called The Exorcist. We've seen that movie before.
Oh,
You bogus.
What do you mean? They did the same thing. They said, "I smell nappy." What you said?
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, I still believe in Lee Daniels. He ain't quite Tyler Perry yet, but he's getting there.
Okay.
Oh. So I'll go ahead.
No, I'm waiting on you.
No.
I do have one more. I want to know what's the meaning behind your name, and should we sue the festival circuit for
Well, I
taking
know
your?
I had it first.
Yeah, we gonna sue them.
And I doubt it. The record company trademarked it, but the trademark did not. It ran its course.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Sundance Festival started in the 90s.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. But my grandfather gave me that name and I never asked him. And people started asking me what did it mean after he died.
Oh, so why you lie? They never asked. You never asked. You just roll with it. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Everybody on the block had a nickname, and I wanted a nickname. Erica didn't seem cool. I couldn't put that. Huh?
Was soap lady taken?
Well, at the time, I wasn't soap lady.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy, you got jokes.
He's a comedian.
I'm not a comedian. I'm just having fun.
That's the part. He's a comedian.
I want in. Shoot, I gotta pay this rent.
Okay.
Comedy ain't hitting like that. So give me
100
bars, and I ain't talking about rap. I want 100
Okay.
bars.
We're gonna
where are your people from before Chicago?
Ohio and Mississippi.
I told Eric I was like, we might be cousins because my family from Mississippi used to come up to Chicago because that's where work was. And I was telling Eric, I got a lot of family off in Chicago from them weekends where or during the week. They would go during the week they would drive up, catch a ride up to Chicago to go and work during the week. Yeah. And then they come back to their family down in Brookhaven. So the Campbells have been spread out very.
My grandfather, Mississippi, my grandmother, Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah, Ohio.
So where can they find you? Anyone that's watching or that will watch on our YouTube channel, where can they find you online?
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, the tightest female DJ. Also, I have a streaming internet radio station. It's called herradio.live.
Oh.
Yep. herradio.live. That's going to be my new baby.
I'll be listening to it during the days in my...
You got to submit a mix.
Oh, shoot. I got some turntables and a mixer in my living room that I could look at right now that have never been plugged in. Some 1200s. Shame on me. But you've given me something to work for.
Yeah. We'll meet up.
Yep, that's right. No, I got to, man. Erica's a cool brother, man. He's a real cool brother.
That's my super babes.
Hey.
Oh, that's sweet.
Super babes.
Super babes.
Yeah.
And what's up with you, Jeremy? What you got coming up?
So tomorrow, I'll be at the Hollywood Laugh Factory. Let's see, what's that? Yeah, the 9th. Yeah, the 9th. I'll be at the Hollywood Laugh Factory. So if you're watching this next week, you missed it. Then the 11th, I'll be at Mount Moore comedy show. I don't know Mount Moore. You got to figure that one out. The 12th, I'll be at Ha Ha Comedy Club in North Hollywood, down the street. Then I'll be the 13th? I'll be at the Comedy Store. That's the only show that matters. Forget everything else I said. Comedy Store, Jeremy Scipio Live. We're gonna have Eric Schwartz. He does music. My boy Dave Hellum. We're gonna have him on the show. Angelina Spicer. I think we had her on here before too. And also Craig Robinson. He's gonna be coming through performing on my show. That's the Comedy Store. 8 o'clock, 7:30. Really, yeah. That's it.
Dope.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Comedy Instagram. That's it.
And I'm gonna have to interview you, Jeremy, in a couple weeks, man. You got a couple little clips that just keep on popping up into my feed that are non-Splendid related. On you saying you giving a couple cool 1 and 2 liners, man.
Yeah, you know what? I had to I'm on trial right now, and literally at my shows I'm gonna talk about some things because literally everybody on my head about some stuff right now. So about one of my latest posts. Once you follow me, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll address everything at my show.
Right.
Check you out.
Huh?
I'm gonna check you out. Give us tickets. We'll come.
Yeah. Sunday?
Yeah, if you give me tickets.
I got you. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Now we're gonna get it all hooked up. With that being said, this has been another episode of Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV. Thank you, DJ Sundance. Once again, great chopping it up with you, Jeremy.